And we are live. Episode, oh my gosh, 14. Jeez. Guys, starting a little bit later. Had technical difficulties in Catalonia. Clearly, everyone is on their siesta all across Spain and Catalonia. And so there was no way to connect with Zach. So we will have Zach on a later episode. I'm excited to have him. But we're gonna stay in Europe. We're gonna talk to one of my buddies who is currently in London. He's been studying there for I think almost a year. His first year is finishing up, and he has joined the chat. So let's add him in. Brendan, come on in. Let's see if he gets it. This is a total backup plan. Yes, there we go. How's it going, brother?
Good. How you doing, Brent?
Good. All right, I had some people request for me to turn off the comments. So, guys, if you want to comment, you can still comment. There's still questions. There should be a question box at the bottom. Please comment there. People are very distracted. They're like, oh, we had a couple people reach out to me. Oh, I can't see your guest face. Or she even asked me, can you be on the bottom so the comments are over your face? So clearly she doesn't care what I look like, which is fine. But all right, man, introduce yourself. Where are you? And then you tell the story on how we met, because we've been on a crazy adventure together.
So I'm Brendan. I'm in London right now. I've been studying here for about 7 months, and originally from Canada. And me and Brent met in Bolivia, 2016. And we pretty much met. We were going to ride the Death Road, which is, if you don't know,
Great spot.
Most dangerous road in Bolivia, in the world, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know the numbers on it, but I think it's in the 800,000 range, deaths per year, I think.
I think so. I think it's a few hundred. I think they've controlled it a bit. I think because the mountain bikers have brought the numbers down, but there are definitely a couple hundred at least that die a year on that road.
Yeah, and so we were on a bus. I think it was an hour trip to the start of it.
Yeah.
And the reason we started talking is you had your big your drone, and
yeah.
the guy loading the bus almost dropped it in a puddle.
Yep.
We'd lost one at that point already, so they were kind of scared.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I kind of just mentioned that, and we started talking, and you're like, you want to hear a crazy story about why I'm here? It was more like, sure, we got an hour bus ride. How long can this story be? And it was a full hour story about you going through the Olympic thing. So
Selfies, baby. Yeah.
And Cody, who's obviously my travel buddy that you've met.
Yep.
We're sitting here listening to the story, how true can this be? And then he shows all the selfies with all the athletes, and it's okay, this is crazy. And then what we bonded over right at the very end was, both being Red Sox fans. So
Exactly. and then you guys invited me on a crazy event. So, guys, the Death Road, insane road. I mean, truly cliffs that mostly people that die are the ones driving. There was a death cyclist I think the year we went, I think it was right around the time we were there actually. But the day we went, we had the Bolivian news show up, which was very interesting. And they wanted to interview the gringos who were crazy enough to do it in the snow. It was snowing and hailing. I don't know if you remember this. It was freezing. Oh. The first half, very high elevation. I mean, we were all shivering, and we all after the first ride, we're like, "What the hell are we doing? Why are we putting ourselves through this?" And it was actually great preparation because we got down, warmed up, really fun ride. I mean, you hardly have to pedal, right? I mean, it's all downhill. Well, but then you guys had decided to go climb a mountain the next day, and you're like, "Hey, do you want to come?" I go, "Absolutely," not realizing that it's true climbing. So we climbed Folan, and the cold that we experienced on the bike ride was nothing like we experienced climbing on that mountain. That was insane. 6,088 meters high, so that's just under 20,000 feet. And it was, excuse my language, but it's a total ass kicker. I mean, it was the most fun I never want to have in my life. And we were, the three of us, if we weren't together, we were encouraging each other the whole time. And that was the deal. We were making it to the top. We're making it together. And that sunrise, top 5 I've seen in my life, hands down.
What I remember most from the bike ride was you opted for the hardtail bike instead of the full suspension. So
Yeah,
you
because I saved $2. That's
so
stupid.
you couldn't go as fast as us. So you always like meet up with us and just be so sore from the rattling of the bike.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was yeah, guys, pay the extra $2, $4 for the full suspension. It's worth it. It's not worth saving $2. All right, even though that's a few meals in Bolivia, get the full suspension. All right, man. So what's going on in London? You guys are in lockdown. London's been making a lot of news recently. What is COVID-19 doing in your neck of the woods?
Base is kind of got kind of crazy over the last 3 weeks. Like, we were in class like 2 weeks ago on a Friday, and we ended up asking the head of our program, kind of like, there's a lot of Canadians in my program, so it was like, can we go home if this gets bad? Can we do our placements there and stuff like that? And she was kind of like reassuring us, like, oh, your classes are gonna be fine. Like, we
Yeah.
should be up for the last 2 weeks, and placements are good. And then about, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours later, we got an email from the school saying classes are done.
Wow, within hours.
Yeah, like
Wow.
no more face to face. We're gonna move to online. So we moved to online, and then it's just kind of been, yeah, our teachers gradually putting stuff online. The school's now locked down, and then I think it's been 5, 6 days ago now.
Wow.
No one was taking it seriously here, so the prime minister just 3 week lockdown. So I haven't left the house very much in the last 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, so are you allowed to, like, so essential stores, I'm assuming, like the rest of the world, so
Yeah,
hospitals are still open, of course. Are grocery
yeah,
stores, like, how are you getting your
yeah.
food?
Groceries are still open. You're basically allowed to leave the house once a day for some kind of form of exercise, so a walk,
Yeah,
run, sort of
that's nice.
thing. And then, yeah, if you need to go to the grocery store, like it's a necessity, then you're allowed to go. But other than that, they want you in the house.
And what's flying off the shelves in London? Are you guys struggling with the toilet paper as well?
I've actually only had to go to the grocery store once in
Yeah,
the last
that's good. Good
year.
job. Way to prep.
But when I was there, no toilet paper. Don't know why that's a thing, but it is. No pasta, no sauces really.
Yeah.
Like kind of stuff that's gonna last you a while, but again, I don't really understand the whole craze about the toilet paper, so
Yeah, I don't think anyone does, except for the people that are buying it. So hopefully one of these episodes, when I ask,
yeah,
someone will pan their phone and show me just a great wall of toilet paper, and
yeah.
they'll be the one to tell us why. What's the vibe in? I mean, are you living on campus? What's the vibe on campus? Are they saying? I mean, of course they've said a couple weeks. Do you think it'll be longer for this shutdown?
I don't know. The campus is pretty dead. Like, there's a lot of international students and a lot of people I hang out with from Canada, so they all went home.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's been pretty dead. I've only been up there a few times, but there's not many people. And then the people that are staying on, they're just living in the dorms, which are pretty small. So I live off campus in a house, so I kind of got a
Okay.
bit better of a deal. But yeah, it's pretty dead, even the streets. So it's starting to take more effect than it was.
Yeah, and like you said, we're both huge Red Sox fans.
Yeah.
Sports are non-existent. But good, really good news. The Olympics have announced their dates. So July of next year, it is official. But man, there's nothing to watch on TV besides Netflix. There's no sports. What have you been doing to pass your time in London?
To be honest, getting up pretty late.
Sleep makes time go very quickly.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then I still have exams. They're gonna happen in May online. So I've just been studying
Yeah.
FaceTime with a couple of friends that are in my program too, and studying through that. Yeah, just to talk. Honestly, I haven't been watching a lot of TV. I've just been talking to a lot of people on the phone and
Yeah.
just people back home and parents and family and stuff like that. So it hasn't been too bad. Like, and getting exercise obviously. So
Yeah. No, good. So it sounds like a very, very chill time. So that's good. All right. So let's talk travel, guys. We're gonna mix it up on you, those watching. Yes, he's living in London, but you're from Canada. So
yeah.
let's talk travel in Canada. Top 3 spots for you back home,
In,
specifically in Victoria. Let's focus on Victoria. Yeah.
um, if you go to Vancouver Island, Tofino is probably the spot you definitely want to hit up. It's the Hawaii of Canada, they say. So it's got amazing beaches, just amazing forest up there. You can surf, campfire on the beach with your friends, camp. You got wildlife all over the island, but Tofino's great, just national park everywhere. You got
Yeah.
little breweries up there and restaurants and, whale tours, hiking, like anything. It's great up island anywhere. if you're in Victoria, the actual city, like there's 3,000 plus restaurants in a very small vicinity. So anything you want to eat, you can find. Everything's so good there. Like
Yeah.
amazing sushi, amazing seafood, pretty much. Anywhere you want to go. Big on like tacos and like little food truck eats and stuff like that. A lot of bars to go to, like
Yeah.
big thing there. But yeah, pretty much hiking too. Like I'm big into hiking too. So, but hiking anywhere on the island's great. Like if you want like walks along the coast, if you want up into the forest and the mountains, you can find there's glaciers and anything you want. Like it's
Truly everything. Yeah, yeah. And so to get there, there are ferries from Seattle. You can also get ferries from Vancouver, correct?
yeah. So if you were to fly to Vancouver, you go to the edge of the mainland there and you catch a ferry you can walk on, which is like $17, or you drive on. I think if you have a small car, it's about $80 there and back,
Okay.
I believe.
Oh, that's not
Or
too bad then.
yeah, it's not bad. If you got some
And that's
people
Canadian, right? That's Canadian dollars.
Canadian, yeah.
Okay.
So it's the only way to get there, so they can kind of charge what they want, but it's not too bad. You can also fly from Vancouver on a small like seaplane, so it leaves the harbor in Vancouver and lands in the inner harbor in Victoria.
Oh, cool. That'd be a nice way to do it.
If you're coming from the States, take another ferry. It's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours from there, and it takes you
Okay.
right to the inner harbor of Victoria as well. So
And you go through, I guess you go through customs at the island.
yeah.
Okay. And so let's touch on Vancouver and Squamish, because it is kind of that part of Canada. I
Yeah.
mean, Vancouver is a very, very, so we did a road trip last summer. Unfortunately, we did not get to the island. Our time, I know it's the one regret I have, because we needed a reunion, but that's okay. We'll still have one of these days. But
Yeah.
it was 2.5 days in Canada, and it was just like we could not justify hopping on a ferry and then literally spinning around and turning around. So we ended up spending a day in Vancouver, going to Squamish, which has some really nice, some hiking as well. I tell you what, Canada is so big. It's another one of those countries. Like we'll have another episode with another one of my friends in a different part of Canada. There's so much to do, and it's just you don't realize until you get there, right? Like so many national parks, and you guys have almost as many national parks. I don't know the exact number, but close to how many we have in the United States. So a lot, like very outdoorsy country. And if you love the outside, get to Canada. Just not in the winter. I don't think I can stand your winters. You guys always destroy.
The West Coast winters just rain, so if you can deal with rain, you're
Ah,
fine.
so it's just like Seattle then. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you start heading the other way, you're going to be in snow and ice for 6-7 months of the year. So,
Yeah.
but if you definitely come to the West Coast, Canada, you can't go to Victoria and spend like a day or two. Like you need to like at least a week or so, and then I would even say that for Vancouver, because Vancouver is a great city, and then the outsides are, just as nice, if not better. So.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. It was a good, quick sample of Canada. I need to get back into it properly. All right. So you kind of touched on it, but how about foods? So you said the West Coast. You guys are known for your seafood. I mean, being on the coast, I would hope so. Any specific, is there one specific Canadian dish that you would eat for the rest of your life?
Canadian dish?
Yeah.
I don't even know if we have a Canadian dish, to be honest. Like we steal food from everywhere, so I don't got like a Canadian dish.
What about? I thought you got. I mean, have you seen Elf? Buddy the Elf. I mean, he
Yeah.
ate spaghetti with maple syrup. I figured that was a staple in Canada.
I only put maple syrup on, waffles, pancakes, and like bacon, which is maybe a little bit weird, but that's about it.
Did you bring some with you from home to London?
No.
Whoa!
They actually
That's
have they have syrup. I mean, not Canadian maple, but
not as good. Okay, still get the fix.
I don't need
Wow,
it that
I'm
much.
shocked.
I don't need it that much.
Okay. Well,
Or
I
use
guess
it.
there's some of you that exist out there. Because that's one of the stereotypes I was going to jump into. Any other food? I mean,
Yeah,
you touched on it, taco, right? Like
yeah,
a hub of
Victoria's,
everything.
I don't know, a big thing I think in Victoria is sushi. There's a lot of like vegan restaurants, or like they're not a lot, but they're becoming very popular there.
Yeah.
Big on like Tacofino is a must, Vancouver or Victoria. It's basically just massive burritos and tacos, and they're
Awesome.
unbelievable. Um, yeah, and there's the good food truck scene around Victoria, just like good eats, like, simple stuff, but it's good. Yeah, and like I said, like there's seafood. We got fish and chips, which I'm gonna say they're better than the UK, but it's probably bad thing to say. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That's it. If there's anything here you want to eat, you can find it. Like wing nights are a big thing, which I found super weird moving here, and I think it's in the States. They're big on wings and stuff there too, but
Absolutely, yeah.
here it's just not a big thing. Like you wouldn't go somewhere like Wing Wednesday at a pub. Like it's just not really a thing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's like a big thing I do with my friends back home is, you
Oh,
go
for
for
sure. Sports
wing.
are especially baseball season, man. Any sport, football, American football season. Yeah, you always go out for wins together.
Yeah.
So we got a question for you from one of the viewers. They're asking, what is your mate? What are you studying? Why'd you go to London?
I'm doing my master's of physiotherapy here. So basically, in Canada, we only have 12 schools there, and they're super tough to get into with the competition. And some schools only allow you certain people from certain parts of the country to get into. So there's a lot of Canadians in my program that kind of just been fed up with the process over there and applied over here. And so we've snuck in over here to get our schooling done in the next 2 years.
I was stoked. You messaged me right after you found out you got it because it was a very whirlwind. Got the emails like, well, guess I'm moving to London. So that was awesome news, man. I was stoked for it. I'm glad it's going.
It was actually the day before me and Cody went to Vietnam, so it's kind of just like she's like,
That's right. Yes.
She's like, you want to accept the offer? And I was like, I'm going to Vietnam tomorrow. Does it matter? Like, can I accept it now or later? And I was like, I'll just accept it now, and we'll talk after.
Yeah. We so it was a couple days ago. Did an episode with one of my friends who lives in Tokyo. She's from Vietnam, and she brought up motorbiking through the country.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that I have some friends who've done it. You're looking at one of the guys who did. How was it? Recommend it?
Yeah, I say that with a grain of salt because I recommend it for people that, one, are crazy.
Yeah.
And two, if you've ridden a motorbike. I was the crazy one who'd never ridden a motorbike. And just if you have a video with Cody on here later, you'll understand why. But he just kind of, we do our stuff together, and so he wanted a motorbike, and I said yeah, and literally got there. Craziest roads you could ever imagine driving on.
Did you do north to south or south to north? Where'd you start?
South to north.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess that's the craziest roads down there is in the south.
Yeah.
And we went to go pick up the motorbike, and it's just like, you've ever ridden before? I was like, no. He's like, all right, we'll just drive it around the block, and if you feel comfortable, you can go. So I drove it around the block, made it back, and we took off, and luckily no injuries or anything along the way. A couple pop
Yeah, you're
tires.
very lucky.
No, it's definitely worth it, especially if you go through like the mountains and stuff. It's just beautiful scenery, and people there are so nice, and
Yeah.
it's lots to do.
One of these days I will go back. I would absolutely love to do that. Let's get back. How about stereotypes of Canada? Any what comes to mind?
Living in the States, right when I got to the States, it was, yeah, but don't you live? Isn't it snow there year round, or you guys live in igloo? Like, and it's like I thought they were joking, but like they're being dead serious.
Yeah.
We're all super super nice. I mean, I don't think that's definitely a thing. We say thank you and sorry too much.
I would definitely agree with that, and that's not a bad thing. You're a kind group of people,
Yeah.
and hell, you'll even apologize for people that need to apologize that won't apologize. So it's
Yeah.
it's good. It's better for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, those are probably the biggest stereotypes, but yeah, I always explaining to people like, no, I'm from the West Coast. Like, we don't get snow there, like very little snow, if anything. And it's always like a shock, like, what? Like, I guess that's all you hear from the outside is that, we're covered in snow year round. So
Yeah. When you guys told me that, I was shocked as well because I had no idea. Truly everyone assumes that all of Canada is just covered in snow 8 to 9 months of the year. I guess that's another question I usually ask is what's a fun fact about your country that surprised people? That's definitely one. The West Coast is rain, not snow.
Yeah, we don't get snow. If we do, it might be for a week, maybe two at the max, and usually it's just like a day or two, and then it just pisses rain and it's gone. So
yeah,
I think I've only had one white Christmas in probably the last 20 years being there.
Oh, that's like Texas, man. That's
Yeah,
shocking.
yeah,
Very rare.
yeah. Well, that's just why everyone kind of like that's why it's so expensive to live on the West Coast, especially Vancouver and Victoria, is just because like the climate is just it's great. Like you can go hiking and stuff. You can golf pretty much year round. Like I have friends that golf on New Year's every year. Like
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, that's not bad at all. That's a shock. That really is shocking because you think, I mean, you truly think in the wintertime, you feel like Canada would be the one country you're guaranteed to find snow. So I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure parts of the country, but he just
Yeah.
in my mind, it is
You can
massive
definitely go,
slate of snow.
that's why Victoria is so kind of it's diverse because you can live where I live and go to the ocean 5 minutes, no snow. It could be like a cool day, but it could be sunny.
Yeah,
And then the next day you can be like, oh, I want to go skiing, and you can drive up island 3 hours and head to a mountain and go skiing. So you can find the snow when you want it, but it doesn't really come to you too often down in the lower part. So
yeah. You choose when to see it rather than vice versa. So
yeah,
that's definitely nice.
yeah.
All right, I got one more question for you. What is your favorite thing about Canada?
Favorite thing about Canada? Definitely the people, I think, just super nice and welcoming, and it's super diverse. Like even like where I'm from too is like it's turning into I'm a rarity there. Like being born there, a lot of people are just moving there from Ontario, Quebec, and then you got people moving from Ireland and different parts of the UK and Europe
Yeah,
and Australia. It's just everyone ends up being there, and it's kind of like traveling, like when you're staying in a hostel and you're meeting people from all over. It's just that's what kind of Victoria is. Just everyone's moving there just to be there,
yeah,
and it's super diverse. So
yeah, yeah.
people, and then just the West Coast, especially. I miss the trees and the ocean. Always being 10 minutes away. So
Man, I tell you what, you need to when you finally get some free time, you need to get up to Scotland, especially the Isle of Skye. You'll get your fill, and even Wales and
yeah,
Snowdonia. There's some great hiking that it'll be different from home, but still get you that fix. There are
yeah,
some good spots in the UK that you can knock out.
yeah,
So,
for sure.
man,
Yeah,
guys, I tell you what, he's living up to the reputation of Canadians. I literally called him about 20 minutes ago, about 5 minutes after the episode was supposed to start. I was like, hey, Wi-Fi of my buddy's not working in Catalonia. Do you mind stepping in? And here he is. So, man, I can't thank you enough for stepping up and taking for the team and just helping me out here. What are your parting words? The stage is yours. Feel free to say whatever to everyone because everyone across the world is going to watch this. Stage is yours.
No, I think it's important to stay safe during this time and do the social distancing, listening to what the governments are saying, and hopefully we all get through this pretty quickly so we can go outside and have a good summer.
Yeah, no, I really hope we get a summer. It's weird, man. It's weird. Like we're literally living a day at a time. It's just when will these borders open? But
Well,
there's no reason to rush it.
what's the situation there for you? Like, are you on lockdown?
No, so Singapore's not. I'm still on my 14-day stay-at-home notice. So it's Saturday night, 11:59 p.m. I get my freedom, so I can officially leave. And oh, you bet I will. Midnight, I'll be stepping outside, get some fresh air. And yeah, but the country as a whole, it is closed. Tourists cannot come to Singapore anymore.
Yeah,
And so that in a sense is interesting. They've closed all the theater. Any sort of entertainment is closed to the public now. So they're slowly taking baby steps. I don't think they want to shut down or put the whole country on quarantine. I pray that they don't. Like it'll suck if the day that I'm supposed to get freedom and everything's closed.
yeah,
But we'll see. I mean, it's a very unique time. Like Thailand just announced they're going on lockdown. And a lot of countries are extending, which everyone knew they would. They just hadn't, confirmed it yet. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the world gets back to normal, and it'll be interesting to be some of the first travelers back out there
yeah.
when the borders open up, and because you'll be there with hardly any tourists, which would be pretty neat. Quite a rarity for Southeast Asia. So.
Are you allowed to go home if you like needed
I tell you
to?
what, that's so I got 90 days in Singapore, and that's my only option.
You can't
So
in the
if
U.S.
my visa expires, there's no other country that'll take me here in Southeast Asia right now. And so I think it was Japan has officially banned the United States from their travel list. So it's just let's hope things get solved in 3 months, or else things will get very interesting. But I tell you what, as you know, it's always an adventure, right? Whatever comes your way, you always take it with a smile, and you make the best out of any situation you find yourself in.
I mean, you
So
got pretty good luck too, I've heard. So
exactly. So things will be fine. Things will be fine.
yeah,
It sucks the Olympics were postponed, but I see it as an opportunity. As a lot of people will probably end up not going, so that'll be more tickets on the market, and hopefully get even more selfies than in Rio. So there's always a silver lining, no matter what the situation is. That's for
is
sure.
that the plan for the Olympics? Try and get more selfies, get back on the
Oh,
selfie.
absolutely, man. I'm not just the selfie king of Rio. I'm going to be the selfie king of the Olympic Games, baby. Let's go. Only summer. We'll see. I'm not a huge fan of winter. Like, I don't like the cold. There's a reason I've had summer the last 3 years, skipping jumping the equator to get out of winter. But
Sure.
Brendan, I can't thank you enough, man. You study hard, knock those finals out, and stay safe down there, guys. Fun episodes coming up the next 24 hours. So in roughly 12 hours from now, we'll be going live with one of my friends who I actually just met in Bangladesh, who's currently in Malaysia. He lives on the island of Borneo, third largest island in the world, some crazy wildlife. And yeah, I'm excited to hear what's going on in Malaysia, because they are on lockdown as well. And then tomorrow evening here in Asia, tomorrow morning, so 24 hours from now, we will be talking to one of my buddies in Delhi, India. Massive country that is currently on lockdown as well. And so there's been a lot of articles coming out talking about how they're handling it, and scary time for India. They've got some serious diversity in the classes, the social classes, and I really want to hear how they're handling it and how they're looking out for everybody. But Brendan, thanks, man. You stay safe. Everybody watching, stay safe. Stay at home. Wash your hands. And until next time, thanks, guys.